Hello, it's Gino's Gem time. Every week I bring you a new little tidbit to help you with your trading day. This gem is Delta. Delta is an option Greek that basically, if you're trading options, you have to know Delta. You have to. And if you don't know Delta, here it is. It's actually a couple of things. It's a few things, but I'm going to tell you the two most important. Delta is the change in probability. So as an amateur, you go in and you find a stock like Goldman Sachs, and you're like, this is expensive. This is a $344 stock. There's no way I'm buying a bunch of shares like this. I need to learn options. You come in here to the option chain and you go, wow, this one's 18 bucks. This one's 9 bucks. This one's like 6 bucks. Much cheaper than the stock. Oh, look at this one down here, 51 cents. I can afford that. Now you times this by 100 shares. That's only $51. That's 1/7 the price of the stock. So what do? You go in and you buy this option, and half the time you win and half the time you lose and half the time you're not sure what you're doing. Did you buy the right option? Guess what? The Delta is one of those Greeks that really help you. So when I'm looking at this, I'm just going to pick out a few here. There's a 62 Delta. This is 36. It's changing between 35 and 36. I'll call that around 35, 36. You buy the 62 for 18 bucks. You buy this 36 for $665, or do you buy this cheap one out here? I mean, what's the difference? There's so many choices. That's why they call it options. There's actually the best one to buy. Guess what that is? The Delta helps you pick the right option in the strategy. Number one, when you're looking at Delta, what does it mean? It's the price change of the option. If you see a call or put with a Delta of 62, that means it will change in value $62 for every point the stock moves up or down. Basically, you'll see your profit loss move up and down the same as 62 shares. Therefore, 62 Delta, you're basically buying 62 shares for a heck of a lot cheaper than if you bought the stock. So bottom line, a 62 Delta moves the same. 62 Delta moves the same as, let me correct that, 62 shares. A 35 Delta moves the same as 35 shares. And yeah, that 5 Delta down here, it's cheap. But remember, you only get the movement of 5 shares. So how many shares do you want? How many shares should you have in your portfolio? Which Delta actually gives you the best return? Well, check this out. There's a second part to this. The Delta also is probability. You're paying for probability, or you're selling probability depending on the strategy. The Delta actually equals the number of the strike price being in the money. It's the percentage chance of the strike price being in the money by expiration. So the lower the Delta, the lower the odds of being in the money, or another way of saying this, being valuable. So a 62 Delta has a 62% chance of being in the money or valuable. 35 Delta has a 35% chance of being valuable. Now, remember that cheap 5 Delta? Yeah, it's cheap, but it only has a 5% chance of being valuable. So now that you understand what the Delta is telling you, it's your probability and your odds. You put the two together. Which one is best? Here's the Gino's Gem right here. It depends on the strategy. Each strategy has a best Delta. And to put it correctly, the Delta tells you which strategy to do. You match the Delta up to the right strategy, and you have yourself a really solid system. And that's what trading's about. Delta saves you time. It gives you best odds, and it gives you the best return if you know which one to do. Long calls and puts. Guess what Delta you need? Credit spreads, debit spreads. Guess which Delta you need? Guess which one's best, especially on credit spreads? Hedges. What should your Delta be? Guess what? We teach all that free to our pro members. We actually have an option success class, and it's free to our pro members. If you haven't signed up for that class to find out exactly which option, which choice is best based on this one guy called Delta, you need to check that out. So that's Gino's Gem. The gem is this: understanding the importance of Delta, and the next step, using it correctly. So see you at tackletrading.com.